welcome to my glamorous life again. So today I have exciting girls with me who I met recently and they've become really good friends. Let me introduce you. We are all from 4 different countries. I know you're excited. Okay, so this is Natalie. This is the Paris way, right? She's from France, right?
Yeah, from Paris.
From Paris. Oh my God, beautiful country. And then I have Kristen.
Yes, hi.
And she is our US person, right?
Yes, from Chicago, Illinois.
There you go. And here I have Victoria from Russia.
Yes.
Yay.
Deep Siberia, cold deep Siberia.
Well, that's a little bit different from Los Angeles.
Yeah, big change.
So you know how I'm always very fascinated by different cultures, different countries. So I thought we happened to be on an event and we were on one table. So that's when it was her idea. She said, we're from 4 different countries and on one table, there must be a reason for that. I'm like, yeah, because we want to know more about all these, different countries. And so let's have a talk and let's really talk about how women are from all different countries.
There's probably a common ground somewhere in there,
Yeah,
but I
think
think
so.
that it is interesting to see what some of those differences are.
Yeah.
I think the common things for sure are makeup and hair.
Yeah, the real substantial parts
Yeah,
of our
the
lives,
basis.
right?
I was thinking of like fun things. I think these are the main things that I feel every country has different. Like, what do you ask your date when you date a guy? What do you ask them?
Oh my God.
What are the questions? What do you ask a guy?
Well, it's. I think it's the same in all the countries, and you're just talking and sharing things at the beginning. But maybe one thing, I don't know if you're the same. Maybe one thing I'm really very interested in knowing is if the person already had like a long-term relationship. Because I'm just a little bit older than you, and I'm looking for someone who is just ready to commit and just who knows what is just sharing moments and just being with someone for a long time. So I think this is one of the things I would like to know. Yeah,
That's a good idea, to kind of delve a little bit into their personal history to determine if it's something that could eventually be long-term, until the end.
Yeah,
That's
just
what a relationship is supposed to ultimately be, right? Go through the finish line.
If it's worth trying or not. If it's the guy's worth you giving him any time. How about you?
Yeah, that will be question if you don't have any long relationship for. I think that will be kind of question. But for me, I will ask about their future, what their goals are, because if they don't have a goal specific, I mean, where are they going in life, and like where are you want to take me with you, like where?
Right.
So I will I always start to ask about this. And the first date.
That's so interesting because I think we're not the same age, and I think when I was your age, it was really something I was very interested in. And now I think I already have my goals and my achievements, and I'm looking for different things. So that's really, thank you.
Yeah.
That's very important. Very important.
It's always important to find out what someone's goals are, what they're interested in, because ultimately if your passions are totally different, not that you can't have a convergence there in your
No, at times you can't.
Right, but
It's hard. No, I don't think you can.
But if someone's, let's say, has a really strong passion in one area and the other person isn't interested in that, it's important to have similarities there. So that's a very good question to ask, for sure. I'll start with the most important question, and that's, what do you think of the movie Groundhog Day?
Oh, that's great.
Because it's one of 2 responses you'll receive. One is being, it's the greatest movie ever, because it's the only movie where only the central character changes, but everything else remains exactly the same. So very difficult to determine a full catharsis of character without anything changing. Or you'll receive, it's just the same thing over and over. And when I hear that, then I know it was nice meeting you. I get, ask questions about, of course you do it in an organic, natural way, but their level of morale and character and what's important to them. Do they have parents maybe also that were married for a long period of time? Because some people have the ideology. Well, you get married. If it doesn't work out, you get divorced. If that's
Isn't
their
that right?
ideology,
Isn't that right? If it doesn't work, you get divorced.
right, but then there's that. Assuming two people get to the altar, right?
Exactly.
If they both have the same level of commitment,
Right.
Yeah.
then you work. I know you don't. But you kind of want to determine what their stature of character is a little bit. But, and then the other thing is just you have the similar sense of humor and things like that. But ask them personal questions about themselves. And
I
kind of see
have
where
to
it goes.
share this.
And what's
Like
yours?
the one thing that touched me the most, like when I met my husband, like this is our first date. So, and we're talking, like, it's the first time we're meeting, like having lunch and talking. And he asked me, like while we're having like just random conversation, he asked me, what was the hardest time in your life? I think that was such a deep question. I think that kind of stayed with me, and I think perhaps that's one of the reasons that he's my husband today. Because I was like, the guy is really interested in knowing more. And then I shared with him that the hardest time was when my brother had an accident and he was in coma for like few months. I think that was the hardest time in my life. So I think it kind of gave him an idea that perhaps family is really important to me, and it gave me an idea that he's just not talking about like what do you like to do in your free time, which movie.
Right,
Like it's not just those random questions. So I think so that really stayed with me. I'm like, that's very deep.
That is
very
very. By the way, I was
interesting.
kidding about starting off with the Groundhog Day question.
Yeah, of course.
I was just kidding. It was my best friend and I were just talking about that. She's like, what do you ask? I said that. But no, that's really important. And that's nice to know that he was very interested in a very, a darker part of your life to see, what his response would be. And he sounds like a great guy.
Yeah, fortunately he is.
Yeah.
And okay, the other thing that I think like it's very different in India as compared to other countries. What is your sense of punctuality, like being on time? I think in US, I know people are on time, like they're on time by the clock. How about in Paris?
Well, for an appointment, for meeting, for work, you're on time. And you're just like taking a few minutes before just to be sure to be on time. But for example, when you're inviting for dinner, because we receive people at home, we're cooking. When you say, for example, 8 p.m., it's never before 8 p.m. And there is the 5 minutes of, the 5 minutes just to be sure the woman inviting is ready. So you're not just in time, you're usually 5 minutes late.
So that's never before. You never want to show up earlier, so that's sort of a cultural standpoint, right?
Yeah, the
'Cause
cultural
here,
thing is
time's early.
when it's 8 p.m. you never just ring in the door before, because you just want to make sure that the woman or couple, the family who is inviting you, just has the time just to be ready, to put everything in
Together,
order,
yeah.
and that's why never before. On time is okay, but usually there is this 5 minutes of like,
Just 5 minutes?
well, it can be.
I won't have anything ready. Like nothing ready.
No, usually it's 5 minutes, but sometimes, I did 10 minutes and maybe 15. I'm not very punctual sometimes, so.
How about you guys are always on
It
time.
depends on the event. It depends. If it's a dinner party where you have ample time, it's okay to be a few minutes late because you're giving the host or hostess some time to get ready, and usually people appreciate that.
Yeah.
But if it's let's say a business event or something where someone's counting on you to be there for, let's say, a meeting, and you have a speech that you're giving or whatever it might be, I think it's important to always be punctual if people are relying on your punctuality for a specific reason. And it also depends on the person, I think, versus you were saying culturally that in India, it's a little bit different.
Culturally, in India,
different?
it's very different.
Really?
Like, you tell about Russia, I'll tell you that India is super laid back. I'll tell you. How about Russia? People go on time?
It depends where.
Like to somebody's house?
I think in Moscow, it's like there's a lot of traffic as we are in LA. It's the same here, and everybody uses this as excuse. But sometimes you cannot predict if there is any accident. So Moscow is a very, very stuck city in traffic. So people are late, but usually on time. Depends where you grew up as well.
So I think if you grew up in India, it's impossible for you to be punctual. I don't know.
You're
How
trained.
I think it doesn't matter the traffic or not. Even if you are living in a village where there's even just one cart going on the road, you're still late. It's just that this is how I think the mental thinking is. If somebody invited you at 8, you're like, okay, I'll show up by 9. It's totally fine.
Also,
Wow.
there's a buffer zone there of an hour.
Exactly. So 5
Or
minutes
here.
is not enough. It's not going to do anything. I was telling you earlier, like, I had invited a couple of friends at home, like few friends, around 10 of them, and then two of them, there was a couple that was an American couple. So then this is what happened. I gave them a time of 6 o'clock, and the rest of them were Indians. And now the American couple, they showed up at 5 to 6. And I didn't even have my stuff together. I was like, I didn't have any makeup on. I'm like, oh my God, like what is this? So it was really, and of course the Indian friends showed up at 8 or after
You notice
8.
that across the board.
Wow.
You're seeing
So
so
I-
between the Indian
so
and American
Very
culture.
different. And now it's like if I'm inviting people from different countries, I just go by, okay, if the time is 8 o'clock, I will tell the Indians it's at 7. And to the Americans, I'll tell them it's at 8:30 or 9. So
Just like somebody just like be there at the time you choose.
yeah, otherwise it's very difficult. It's like, oh my God.
Sometimes
yeah.
you have to do that with whom you'll know
Yeah.
Yeah.
will show up at a certain time. You have to give them sort of an allowance of 15 or 20 minutes, and the other person you have to say that
Some
it's
people
later
are
than it is.
always late, like
Oh yeah,
always.
absolutely.
I think
No
that's-
matter
that
where,
would be my
what,
husband.
why. I think it's just it comes also, I mean the cultural. I mean I've never heard of it in Asia, but like it just comes from internally. If you know, you want to be respectful. You will be on time. Like no matter it's a work or it's a personal.
I feel in India like they believe that you should be late. If you're really on time, that means you're nothing better to do in life.
You want to keep your friends. You show up late.
Exactly, you're
You
gonna
want
keep
to
your
maintain
friends.
your relationship.
Yeah, that's the
Don't be
thing.
on time.
Yeah,
It-
because your host is expecting you just to be late, so she will not be ready if you're late.
It's
Our
funny.
And
It's
it
like,
depends. It depends on the person, and
Yeah.
if it's a
And the culture.
cultural
Yeah, the culture.
bandwidth there, and you know that
Yeah.
that's something
There's
that
a
people
lot
do in
of
general, then of course you want to meet those standards. But it depends again, as Victoria was saying.
Yeah.
How were you finding for
Please.
yourself to adjust to that?
No, I'm of course. If I'm going to an American friend's house, I go on time.
How was that?
That was hard.
First.
It was hard.
At the beginning
It
was
like-
very hard.
It was really hard. Like it was a 6 o'clock dinner, and then I would start getting text messages 6:30. Like, what happened? I'm like, it's just 6:30. Like, what's wrong with you?
Well, that's the other thing too. If you know you're getting ready, and then you're going to have to deal with traffic. Let's say 6
Yeah.
o'clock, and
That's the
the
thing.
destination is a little bit farther away, and you know you're going to be hitting rush hour, so you want to make that allowance. And then I will tend to make plans more
Right.
toward the 8 o'clock.
Right.
Because I'm like, I know I can really make that time without a problem. 6
Yeah.
o'clock, it's going to be.
It's
Yes,
impossible.
6 o'clock here in
And-
LA
and
is
the-
just like impossible.
And the funny thing that my husband said was we had to go to somebody's wedding, and of course we were late for the wedding because it takes longer for my husband to get ready than me. And trust me, he has hair like this long hair, and I have this long hair, but it takes him so long to do his hair. Anyhow, so we were getting late. I'm like, Vish, we're late. We have to go. He's like, Kimmy, the people who are getting married are gonna get married anyways. They're not waiting for us. That's true. He said we'll get there by the time the drinks are being served. So
Yeah.
perfect.
So what was
And
the
I'm always
other
early.
adjustments or obstacles or the challenges you faced when you moved here? And of course you are too. Like what was the biggest adjustment you needed to do in your mindset or life?
I don't know. Do you have any?
I think one thing that I really love here is freedom. Like you can do what you want to do. You can be who you want to be. And in India, we don't have it like that. We just don't. I think nowadays maybe things are changing, but we don't have it like that. It's like here you can date whoever you want to date. You can go out whatever time with whichever friends. It's like nobody's concerned. I think India is still in that everybody is thinking that, oh my God, what is their daughter doing? What time is she coming home? She's coming home so late. What's going on? What's happening? And then she's 25 and still not married. Like, what is it? Like, can't they find a boy for her? So all those things, I think all those things are very different. And I think in US is a blessing. I think it's so much better, and I love this. I have
So
to say.
you notice freedom all across
Yes.
the spectrum.
All across the
What
spectrum.
would be the other aspect besides dating that you notice, let's say in India or even in Russia or France? Is there any difference when you think of the freedom aspect of
How about in
the
Russia?
United States versus where you're from?
Oh, the same, yeah. I mean, I was just like, watching people. I remember in Miami was just walking in like different closets, like very, very different. And like I will learn how to not judge them and how to just not.
That's the point.
Yeah, they're also not compare myself to others.
Yeah.
That was a big, big shift for me.
Yeah, I really felt the same thing. I think there is no judgment here, or you
There's
don't
no
you don't
judgment.
feel it. So you just can be who you want to be, and you can be
Yes.
yourself. That's the best thing, because there is a less pressure on your shoulders. The people are not expecting you just to be like this or this, and that's really great, because coming from Paris, yeah, there is some codes, there is some rules, and you have to follow the thing, and just like, so being here, yeah, I had really this feeling of freedom too.
I love that. So there's not a pressure of social conformity.
That's the
Yes.
thing. Yeah.
You know what's interesting? The people born here can't necessarily contrast and understand the difference with another country. So they'll think, oh, there's oppression here, and I can't be myself. And it's like, wait,
No.
Come on, you need to see,
Yeah.
you need to see other
Yeah.
countries.
Yeah,
freedom
like,
you have. So
you're
when
like
you come
so
to somewhere
free,
else, you can
Yeah.
really appreciate it,
Yeah.
as opposed to feel,
of course.
like you're constantly in a state of complaining about it. Whereas you can really recognize the difference. You can just be who you want to be here,
Yeah.
which is really nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
other thing that I have noticed here is I think people here complain. And it's like
Here?
Here, yes.
Oh my
They
God! For
complain-
me, they're
they
not
complain-
complaining.
They complain about the weather. They complain
France,
about
they're a
like
little bit more
That's so funny.
like silly things. Like they are just, or they complain about the traffic, or they complain about I think they are
In LA?
in everywhere in the US. I think in North
Not in
America.
LA.
It's more common for sure, whereas being focused on your blessings and recognizing
Yeah.
how just what a gift it is to be healthy and to be able to wake up that day.
You guys
and
haven't
go-
been in Russia.
Yeah, you haven't-
Hear people
you-
complaining?
No, I'm
Like
thinking
what?
the same. Just
People
like
here are
here.
so happy. Like I've never seen the
Sorry,
happier
yeah.
people in the world. Like seriously.
I
I lived in France too. Like
Yeah.
the people there are not
Not just like-
they're complaining.
Yeah, we're just complaining
All
all
over
the time in
wine
France.
in the evening, they're
And
just
here,
complaining about everyone.
I think I feel in India people complain about the government only, about the
Oh.
politicians and the
no, but
government.
in Paris, the
That's
people
not-
are complaining about everything, all the
Everything.
time. Just like the
It's
traffic,
even worse
the weather.
than
But
it is
no,
here?
yeah, I love here. This is
so
the
great.
first thing is this feeling of freedom. But the second thing is just like everyone is welcoming, is smiling,
That-
is
that's true,
nice,
that's
is
true
happy. It's just like, just like crossing the path of other people. You're just like, you feel so great here because there is no complaining. There is nothing around that. And really,
It's like you
I-
see the
I
diversity in
respect
India.
it.
People are more like spiritual and they're very like grateful and they have sense of life. In India,
No,
no.
That's what they believe it is. That's
I
what
mean, that's
people
what I believe.
That's
what the
what you
picture
are.
is.
It's
That's
all,
what
it's
the
all
that's
dependent
the
upon your
picture.
perspective.
That's the
Yeah.
It all depends on where you're from and
Yeah.
sort of that
No,
paradigm.
that's the
that
thing.
is true.
So that's so
Where you're
interesting just to see that, for you here the people are complaining, and for me here the people are really not complaining at all.
I feel
So that's
I
so
feel
interesting.
people here complain about things that really don't matter.
Yeah.
Like they complain about just very
I agree with
superfluous things. The weather is not good. It's hot today. It's this today. The
Yeah,
traffic is this, that, and and then they saw something on social media. Like they're talking about, they complain about things that really don't matter. So it's not. So these are not real complaints. Girls, let's talk about my favorite thing. I am very passionate about it. Try thinking.
Might it be
We're gonna be having amazing food in
And
here.
this
That's
food, by
so
the way,
good.
flavor
Oh
of
my
India.
Yeah.
Yep.
really is
Amazing.
I am like really surprised. I mean, I picked the restaurant. I'm like, all of us can meet here because I love this restaurant and I love the food. But I was like, okay, they're all from different countries, and all of you like Indian food.
Oh yes,
Yes.
I love
Yes.
Indian
Oh
food.
my god,
I love you all.
Who doesn't love Indian food? Well,
This is
Spices.
It depends on the spices, but I
I
think
think so much fire in you.
Oh my
It's
God.
alive.
Yeah,
You're feeling warm when you're eating it. My favorite thing I've learned, I don't know if it's really Indian, but I think it's Indian because it's a lot of spices. It's like I do this chickpea soup with like
Indian.
a lot
It's
of
Indian.
spices.
It's Indian.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so
This is
good.
so
Like
good.
some veggies in there. Yeah, Moroccan chickpea soup. It's not Indian.
Oh, yeah.
But
They're
I mean,
good too.
it's
They're good
spices.
too.
I think
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
same thing, right?
Right, it's very close. Very close.
Very close.
But yeah,
Like
Indian
curry
food
in
has
there.
that version, like it's chickpeas with the spices in it.
Yeah,
and,
the curries and that.
Yes,
Yeah, I think it's the same thing.
So, what's your favorite dish in Indian food?
Oh, this one. I don't know the name of this one, but I can
A
tell you.
vegetable
The
curry?
lentil
Spicy
and
cauliflower.
veggies.
Cauliflower
Curry.
with like curry and
so good.
maybe a little bit of coconut milk
Yeah,
or
it has
something.
chickpeas and-
Oh
it
my
has,
goodness!
peas,
And
yeah.
and I love when there is the peanut sauce.
Right.
The chicken with the peanut sauce. I don't.
It's all so good.
Oh,
The naan bread is, I think,
Naan
my
bread.
favorite. How do you pronounce it?
Naan.
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 Yeah. It's naan bread. Yeah, you can say naan bread.
Yeah, I love it.
Naan. curry, especially when it's done right, like it is here.
It's amazing.
How do you experience food coming in America, the American food?
I think we're very lucky just to live in LA because the food is really very healthy. Because just like when I'm in vacation or road trip or whatever, just like the food is so different. And coming from France, I love food, of course. I love sweet things, the pastries, and all the food. And I think we're lucky here in LA because I think we can really choose whatever we want.
We bless
French
you.
food, I mean, the pastries and the butter and the...
Yeah.
I love
mean, everything about French food is so good, but how can you maintain such a tiny frame?
Yeah, how you
The frame doesn't change, but
That's the
so
thing.
tiny.
No,
if I
we
were
have
living
to
in France,
we
I would
have
be
to
twice
be
the size.
with my girlfriends in Paris, we were used to do this kind of thing just like every weekend because we love to invite each other at home, just cooking and things. And so we had like dinner like every Friday, every Saturday, and so eating everything because oh my god, my friends are so good cookers, oh my god, really good. And but during the week, we're like no pastries. It's like a kind of rule. Well, with my girlfriends, I think a lot of girls around there.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so you can just have fun and enjoy everything during the weekend, but during the week, just like work out, no pastries,
You know,
okay.
when I was in India, we used to, those days it was not the internet, it was the magazines. So in the magazines, it was about French women. The French women eat a lot of cheese, and they're still skinny. We're like, how are they skinny when they eat so much cheese?
But it's the same with for the cheese. We're not eating cheese and pastries every day. If not, well, I tried. I did, and just like you can see that the weight is going a little bit further. No.
But it's also the quality of ingredients are very very different in America. Like in America, it's just
The
like
rules.
you better not to eat here.
Yeah, the rules
any
are not the
gluten,
same.
any sugar or it's
And
just
even
very
the
different.
veggies and fruits.
Yeah.
Here I just take all organic
Yeah,
because really it's not the same legal things around food. And and in France you can eat non-organic things because they are very healthy too. Well, organic is better, but here all my friends told me just like organic.
I think there's one thing that in US you get all kinds of cuisines. And in LA you get every cuisine possible. Like moving from India to LA, there was no shock because there's such good Indian food. So all over, and then of course this restaurant. But so and you can get everything. You can get Thai food, you can get French food. It doesn't matter what you want. But yes, about the quality of the produce, as you're saying, ingredients.
Yeah, and the taste.
I was in London
There's no
for a
taste,
month, and over there the food tastes different because it's all grown in UK. It's all like differently grown vegetables or something. I think it is different. But it was good. It was very good.
No, that's
Here's
okay.
my question. When you speak to someone who's, let's say, from China, they say that, well, because we know it is, but the American version of Chinese food is not the real Chinese
No,
food. It's
it's not.
Americanized. So is that the same with Russian, French, Indian, and French food?
No, Indian food is exactly
So
how
this
it
is how
is
it's prepared in India.
In India, not at home. It's like in Indian food, like how we prepare food in a restaurant is different than what we prepare at home. We don't prepare this at home. We don't make naans at home. We buy them from the supermarket and eat them. We make all these things, but they're made in a different way.
Holidays,
But,
holidays.
but these are the restaurant food, and this restaurant food is the same as how it is in India, how is it everywhere. And that's why Indians love to come out and eat in Indian restaurants too, because this is not the food we cook at home. We don't cook these things. We cook we cook them very differently.
It's the same
But
for
this
French.
is still valid Indian food.
Yes,
This
it's
is
a valid.
This is authentic.
Yes, it's authentic. If you are here in LA and you're going to an Indian restaurant, you're coming to this restaurant, Flavor of India, it's authentic Indian.
Amazing.
So girls, I know all of us have to go somewhere. I know you have to go. You have an event, and you have an event. These are busy girls. Thank you for coming. Thank you
Thank
for
you for
coming.
inviting us. It was so much fun. And thank you to Kimi, and Natalie, and Victoria.
Thank you.
And
Yeah,
we're so
that was
thrilled to
really
be part of your YouTube channel.
I'm gonna thank you like an Indian. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was amazing, and I'm glad we came here. The food is good, and
Excellent.
the conversations are good.
Yeah.
It's a
Really
pleasure
so nice
and a
meeting you
blessing.
each time.
For all of it.
So we're gonna do this again.
Absolutely.
Yes, of course.
100%.
Yes.
Promise.
This
We're
is
gonna
the
do this
beginning
again.
of many.
Bye.
Bye.